Hello everyone and welcome back to the City of Thieves. This is no longer an appropriate title because we have just managed to sneak out of Port Blacksand, of this infamous city, and we don't intend to come back here. In fact, we have everything we need to defeat Zembar Bone. So, let's see where our path leads us now. We thank the old Thatcher and his nephew for helping us escape the guards of Port Blacksand before turning north to continue our quest. We pull out Nicodemus's map and start our long walk to the guarded tower of Zembar Bone, the Night Prince. We walk through woods and fields. We are able to relax a little in the pleasant countryside and breathe the fresh air with its wonderful scents. As the light fades, we decide to camp under a huge elm tree. We cook a meal of stewed rabbit and mushrooms before settling down to a long, deep sleep. We awake feeling refreshed and gain 2 stamina points for nothing. That's excellent. With that, our stats are quite okay. Our skill stat is excellent. Our stamina attribute is okay-ish, and we have a low luck level, but we still have our portion of fortune we can consume at any time. We still managed to get out with 11 gold pieces and a whole bunch of, wow, a huge list of stuff. Right. We begin searching for a yew tree. Eventually we find one and cut a long branch from it. We spend the next few hours crafting a bow to fire the silver arrow. As we test the bow for accuracy, we are suddenly aware of a white dove sitting on a low branch nearby. There is a small piece of paper attached to its foot, which lets us remove. What? Sorry, the text is messed up here. So, attached to his foot, which we remove before it flies off. All right. There is a message on the paper which reads, "Dear friend, I am afraid I must be getting too old to be of use of anybody. I regret that I have misinformed you about the compound needed to kill Zembar Bone. You must only use 2 of the 3 ingredients I spoke of, but I cannot remember which 2. I can only suggest you try hag's hair and black pearls together, or hag's hair and lotus flower together, or the black pearls and lotus flower together. Apologies. Good luck, Nicodemus." We throw the message on the ground in frustration. We change our mind a dozen times before making a decision. Finally, we make our choice and grind the 2 ingredients together on a flat stone. We place the compound in a leather pouch, hoping we have made the correct decision. We set off again, but it is not long before our surroundings become less welcoming. The trees are twisted or stunted, and there are no birds to be heard. We must be approaching the domain of the Night Prince. Suddenly, to our left, we hear rustling and grunting in the bushes. It is a wandering monster, which has been attracted by our scent. Alright? This is still not the defenses of the tower, I presume, so it must be like some random creature. We rolled a 6, let's see what that yields. We scan the bushes warily, doing our best to anticipate the danger before it strikes. Suddenly, a large blundering creature comes into view. Its arms are unnaturally long and it has very long, dangerous looking teeth. It is a cave troll, and we will need to battle it. Alright. This cave troll mistook us for easy prey and I guess food, but now it's going to regret this decision. Alright, went down without a being a real challenge. We beat this large and ugly opponent. There is nothing useful to be found in the dead creature, so we decide to press on northwards. Right. We walk for the rest of the day until we reach the hill shown on Nicodemus's map, upon which the Night Prince's tower stands. Alright, we're getting close to our final target, I guess. All is quiet and there is an unpleasant smell of decay in the air. Shadows start to creep along the ground as the moon rises into the night sky, and we see the foreboding silhouetted shape of Zembarbone's tower pointing up into the sky like a black finger. We check all our possessions before drawing our sword and marching towards the arched wooden entrance door. Suddenly, we hear a shrill howl and swing round to see two pairs of eyes staring at us. They belong to moon dogs, Zembarbone's trained killer hounds. It's really interesting. If you recall, we were kind of upset and hiding from these moon dogs back in Silverton. So let's see if we can best them now. I'm not sure if these are like intended defenses or if they just randomly wandered here. But the first moon dog is just as strong as Fat Nose was, if you recall. So it should be a relatively easy fight. We outskill it by 4 points, but it still managed to wound us, which is fine, I guess. This seems like it's becoming an endurance round to get to Zembarbone and defeat it. The second one is actually far superior. It has 11 skill points, so this is the most skilled opponent we have faced so far. No wonder the inhabitants of Silverton were spooked by these creatures. Let's roll our luck again. Still successful. Wow, we rolled a double 6. We had a result of 25, which is quite amazing. Let's roll luck again. Even if we failed, we would still need to roll just one more time, so it's okay. But we managed to defeat both of these chaotic evil creatures. We wipe the blood from our sword and walk to the wooden door. We try the handle, but it's locked. Okay, so at this moment we have arrived at the tower of our arch nemesis, Zembarbone. And before anything further, we do anything else, we are going to drink our potion of fortune. Not only will this raise, will this refill or rejuvenate our luck status, restore our luck status to maximum, but it will raise the permanent, raise the initial or maximum level permanently by 1, which means that in the next 2 luck rolls we are guaranteed to succeed. This is excellent. That's why I didn't mind using the luck rolls in the later battles. In the latest battles, rather. Alright, so we try the handle and it's locked. We don't have a skeleton key, so much for that. We won't just simply open the door. But we may either pull a cord hanging down in front of the door or attempt to charge the door open with our shoulder. We don't want that. We don't want to... So what we want is to be civil, and hopefully Zembarbone himself will come to face us. That would be the best. If we ring his doorbell, he'll come to us and we'll make short work of him. That would be the ideal setup. Let's see if that works out. We hear the bell ring from the other side of the door, and a few minutes later the door is opened by a thin, pale-skinned man with dark, hollow eyes, who is wearing a servant's uniform. Alright, our plan didn't work out completely, but I don't think we're in any immediate danger. So, let's see. In a cold, hissing voice, he says, "Yes." Alright, we could attack him, but we know that Zembarbone works with weird creatures. They have these... He has these undead servants that are supposedly some kind of weird magical creatures, and besides it has not been hostile, so let's see how long we can go along with this game. So we are not going to attack him. In fact, we are going to lie and tell him we are a lost traveler. Let's see how he reacts to that. Some random idiot just wandered up to this tower in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of dead field and devastation, and avoided all the dangers. Let's see if this works out. The man looks at us and smiles, saying, We do not get many visitors in these parts. But I am sure my master would wish you to have a room for the night. Do come in. He steps back and we follow him into a beautiful marble-floored hallway. At least Zembarbon has style. There are portraits and shields hanging on the walls, and the spiral staircase leads up to the floor above. Okay, so we have entered the compound at least. He asks us to follow him up the staircase and offers to carry our backpack for us, which we allow him to do. We can see that the staircase winds its way all the way up to the top of the tower, but the man steps off at the first floor and walks along the landing to a door. He opens it and walks into a large room, placing our backpack on the made-up bed. He tells us that this is our room for the night and walks out, telling us that we will meet his master at breakfast. Alright? There are a few things to note. We know for sure that Zembarbon exists on another plane of existence during the day, so this guy lied to us, and we can be 100% sure that something, or perhaps the master himself, wants to assassinate us. And the other thing is that they were ready for this, so probably they have had a few visitors that ended up in this very lame trap. And I presume he lives at the top of this tower, so we will need to do some climbing, and I think our good fortune has just run out because we are no longer going to be led to our target. So we are not going to lock the door and go to bed. That's a stupid idea. Instead, we are going to explore the tower after waiting a few minutes. Let's wait until the servant leaves. I don't want to destroy anything, to battle rather, anything that we don't have to. We walk quietly back to the staircase and climb up to the second floor. Again, there is a door at the end of the landing. Well, we have no idea where Zembarbon might be, so probably he's at the top of the tower, as I've said, but we should still check out as much of the tower as we can, so let's open the door. We walk into a lavishly furnished room containing objects, the art, and curios. Standing before us is a young woman dressed in a black silk gown. She has long black hair and red lips. She smiles and motions us to sit down in one of the armchairs. We refuse to sit down, only too aware that she is one of Zembarbon's servants. She walks towards us open-armed as though she is about to embrace us, and when she smiles again, we see two fang-like teeth which can only belong to a vampire. Alright, so I guess this is his bride, or like the text said, one of his servants. I'll go with bride. Makes sense that he has a young, beautiful looking vampiress, you know, at ready for his pleasures. And it seems that we have walked into this kind of death trap, but we actually have some garlic. Let's see if garlic works out this time against the vampires. A horrified look spreads across the vampire's face when she sees the clove of garlic in our hand. She retreats to the corner of the room, trying to escape the pungent smell, which negates her blood-sucking powers. We back out of the room, taking the key to the door with us, and lock it from the outside. We then run over to the staircase and climb the stairs to the next floor. Alright, I don't know why we just didn't dispatch of this creature. I also don't know why we didn't take a look around. Clearly we were in no danger once the vampire retreated. And I doubt that a locked door would stop this creature for long, but okay. So I don't understand any of these actions that we have taken, but we didn't get a say in this, unfortunately. Let's see what floor number 3 holds for us. We climb up to the 3rd floor and see another door at the end of the landing. Okay, let's open this one. Despite the light from the burning lanterns on the landing, we are unable to see anything inside the room. It is completely black. And we don't have a golden owl. We do have a lantern. I don't know why we cannot use that one, but we don't have this item, so okay, here we go. We might not be able to see what is in the room, but we can still enter if we wish. We could try groping our way around the room, or we could continue heading upstairs. No, I know this might be a bad idea, but let's blindly enter the room and see if we can find anything useful in there. Hopefully this darkness hides something, you know, at least. Unbeknown to us, there is a tripwire across the doorway at our feet and a crossbow on the wall opposite, so that as we walk into the room, we trigger the wire and this releases the crossbow bolt straight at us. Okay, at least this is being guarded, so at the very least, you know, hopefully it's something valuable that this little trap was keeping safe. We test our luck, we are guaranteed to succeed, and we did. We trip over the wire and fall on the floor. The crossbow bolt flies over our head and through the door. We decide not to risk any further possible danger to ourselves and crawl out of the room. We stand up, walk over to the staircase and climb up to the next floor. I really pity this decision as well. I don't think they had any further traps in this small room, so we could have just taken a good look around and see if you know, if there was anything there to find. On the next floor, there are two doors adjacent to one another on the landing. One is painted white and the other black. Suddenly, a voice calls out from nowhere, saying, "Oh, foolish adventurer, why do you even consider it a remote possibility that you can defeat me, the almighty Zemberbone? I am following your every move, but you do not know where I am. Ha ha ha." What do we do? Alright, we have a white door and a black door, or we can continue up the stairs. I think that this antagonist of our little adventure here is trying to scare us off from this floor, so let's open the white door first and let's see, maybe it hides something that is like a weapon against him or something along those lines. We enter a room which is very dark and very cold. The walls and floor are made of rough stone and the room is empty except for a decorated sarcophagus. There is a strong, musty smell in the air. Alright? I wonder if this is his original body or you know, stored here for posterity. Let's open the sarcophagus and find out. We lift the lid of the sarcophagus and see a human body completely encased in old bandages. The light, although dim, has disturbed the sleep of a mummy and it sits up, turning its head from side to side. Okay, I guess so it's not the body of Zemberbone. Instead it's a regular old mummy. It senses where we are and starts to climb out of its sarcophagus. It walks towards us with its arms extended. Alright, we could fight it, or, since we have a lantern, we may try to throw it at the mummy. We have a lantern. I wonder why we don't use it as intended, you know, like a light source. But let's see if this works. Mummies are supposed to be dry and flammable, at least. The lantern breaks on impact with the mummy and covers it with burning oil. Flames spread quickly along the dry bandages and the mummy is soon consumed by fire. Victory! Yes, I'm going to say that the defenses are rather inadequate. The moondogs were fierce, they were quite okay in this regard, but since then we haven't met anything that we couldn't just, you know, get rid of with the use of a simple mundane item like a clove of garlic and a little bit of fire. It's not like we used up anything magical to get here. Alright, so now that this threat is dealt with, let's inspect the open sarcophagus. The sarcophagus contains a gold ring, which has an eye etched into its top. We have found the long-lost ring of the golden eye, fabled for its ability to allow its wearer to detect illusions. Awesome. We receive 2 luck points for our find and leave the room. That means our luck is at 13, back to 13, so we are guaranteed to succeed in the next 2 luck rolls, which is great. Let's leave the room. There is nothing else here, but it was still worth it. We exchanged the lantern for this excellent ring, so that's definitely a trade I'm willing to make. Outside on the landing, we may either enter the room with a black door or walk back to the stairs and climb up to the next floor. I don't know. So if the point is that the white door was relatively dangerous but quite useful, I presume the black door is something dangerous. Might be a trap, like intended to lure people there and like an immediate death sentence. So actually we are going to skip this one. Hopefully it's not where we need to progress, but let's see what's on floor number 5. On the next landing there is a door with a black tower carved in ebony attached to it. There is also a black suit of armor standing outside the door. Alright, before entering, let's inspect the suit of armor, you know, before opening a door, before opening up to any more traps or hostile creatures. There is a battle axe held in the iron-plated glove of the suit of armor. We could take it, or we could push the suit of armor on the floor to make sure it's not booby-trapped first. Alright, that sounds like a good idea. Let's check for traps. Let's push it over and check for traps. The suit of armor breaks into pieces and it crashes to the floor. It is no longer a threat. I don't know if it was ever a threat, but apparently we did not gain anything with this amazing move. Let's open the door in front of us. Let's see what this door with the black tower has in store. The room we enter is full of debris and rotting food. Standing in the middle of all the mess are 2 men wearing tattered clothing. They have hollow eyes and vacant expressions. On seeing us, they pick up wooden sticks and advance towards us. Interestingly, we could back out of the room and just lock them in, so these zombies must be pretty useless. But let's rid the world of these, of as much evil as we can, so let's attack them. I don't think they're very dangerous. Zombies don't tend to be extremely strong. The mindless zombies step slowly towards us with their sticks raised in the air. And yeah, so the first zombie at least is no match for our skills, so this should be a pushover. And it is. It goes down in 3 quick slices. The second one will take 4 quick slices, but it's not any more dangerous, so I'm saving up my luck because I don't know how many luck rolls we still need, so let's see. But the zombies have been taken care of. There is nothing of use to us in the room, sad, disappointed. The smell of zombies and debris is terrible, so we decide to leave immediately. Alright, we walk back to the staircase and climb up to the next floor. Sounds great. The staircase ends at a door. We turn the handle slowly and the door opens, much to our surprise, into open air. Okay, so we have reached the top of the tower, it seems, and we have not yet met Zambar Bone. This is fishy. Suspicious. But anyway, we have more immediate dangers or more immediate issues to take care of. We walk outside onto the flat roof of the tower. Suddenly, we are aware of movement in the sky and look up to see 2 large birds in the moonlight with long beaks and talons swooping down on us. There is no time to run for cover, nor do we want to run for cover, because we are no cowards. So we will have to stand and fight the Death Hawks. If you recall, in one of our previous adventures we've also met Death Hawks and they were quite pitiful, or did we? Maybe we did not. Anyway, Death Hawks are quite pathetic. Let's see if that's the case here, and absolutely is. With a skill level of 4, they stand no chance of ever dealing us any damage. The second Death Hawk is even weaker. It needs only 2 hits from our majestic broadsword. If these were intended to be defenders, then they failed pitifully at their job. We have managed to slash our enemies from the sky, and this was not at all not at all a great achievement, to be honest. We sit down to rest and plan what to do next. As we slump down on the cold stone floor, we inadvertently knock over a glass jar we had not seen before, which rolls against the wall and shatters. From the broken jar, a small man of some 15 centimeters high steps out and walks over to us. I would call it 15 centimeters tall, but whatever. He looks up at us with his hands on his hips and in a barely audible voice says, "Thank you very much. I've been trapped in that infernal jar for the last 100 years. Now how can I repay you?" Right? This poor little guy must be sent here, you know, to be kind of tortured in this jar, you know. Just enjoy yourself and your own smell. I guess he's indestructible and also undying, so whatever. It's really creepy, but at the very least this magical little creature is going to help us out. There are two things we can ask of him: either the whereabouts of Zembar Bone, or if he could heal some of our wounds. Now I don't care for the whereabouts of Zembar Bone. If come worst case scenario, we just walk back down, we try the black door, and if that doesn't work out, you know, the black door on floor 4 which we skipped, if that doesn't work out, we can still scour the ground floor or the surrounding area if he's here at all. So I mean, we're in a tower that's a relatively confined area, and Zembar Bone has stated that he's here, or at least implied that he's here watching us. So I don't care for that. Let's see if he can heal some of our wounds. The little man smiles and says, "Easy!" He reaches into his pocket, and how big could his pocket be, right? And produces some sparkling dust which he throws up at us. As it settles on our clothes, a feeling of strength surges through our body. We gain 6 stamina points. Awesome. He then tells us that as he is feeling particularly grateful, he will grant another wish. Wow, particularly grateful for freeing him, liberating him from a prison of 100 years. That's amazing. 2 wishes in one. That's something. He's not a leprechaun. We have met a leprechaun, and that guy was bigger, so I don't know what kind of magical creature this is. With our strength returned, we feel we can now deal with Zembar Bone and ask the little man of his whereabouts. Actually, to be perfectly honest, I think we could have been able to deal with him previously as well, but now we are back to 23 stamina points, so we are definitely even more dangerous to him. And that's a good idea. We could do with a bit of advice. The tiny man smiles and says, "Ah well, if that's all you want, then that's simple enough. He's on the 4th floor, in the room with the black door." Then he waves his arms at us and disappears in a small puff of smoke. Goodbye, little man, thank you for your assistance in this endeavor. We stand up and walk back down the stairs to the floor where there are 2 doors adjacent to each other on the landing, so floor number 4. We breathe in deeply and turn the handle of the black door. Supposedly we're at the right place now, at the black heart of this evil establishment, and we are here to cut out the core of this black heart and murder Zembar Bone, remove it from existence. But that is going to have to wait until next time, because I'm going to make the cut of the video right here. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.